My name is Rosalyn Marshall, and I'm refuting a proposition by Jose Serta that the merger of Live Nation and Ticketmaster would hurt consumers. My opponent asserts that the merge between Live Nation and Ticketmaster would hurt consumers. He cites as warrants and evidence statistical data and media sources. These grounds, however, provide weak corroboration and little credibility. I refute his claim because he does not prove that the merger between Ticketmaster or Live Nation's business practices alone have caused or will cause the increase in concert ticket prices. My challenges are that he commits several fallacies: an error of significance due to the source of evidence not being adequate support, an error of suppression of evidence by not providing pertinent information regarding the fee breakdown presented, and an error of priori because his qualifiers and backing support are unsubstantial, indicating that he drew his conclusion before he considered all the evidence. My first challenge: the advocate did not prove that Ticketmaster or Live Nation's business practices alone have caused the increase in concert ticket prices. My support for this is related to my opponent's first claim and the fallacy of significance that he made in regards to it. In the warrant, he states that a merge between Ticketmaster and Live Nation would result in a single source for ticket prices. He states that the ticket prices have increased dramatically over the last couple of years, and he attributes this to Ticketmaster and Live Nation's hefty service fees. He states that the service fees are based on the price of the ticket, and so the vendor can then inflate the price of tickets to garner a larger fee. However, the qualifiers he uses are only figures and amounts. They do not give any formulas, criteria, or methods on how the percentages are calculated, thereby providing a reference for determining how the vendor is able to inflate the charges. And this is the further fallacy of suppressed evidence, because there is information available which I discovered that sheds light on the fact that these fees are indeed based on some information. As a testimony before the U.S. Congress in 1994, Fred Rosen, Chief Executive Officer of Ticketmaster, stated that the service fee is based upon the distributor's contract with the venue and is defined by the type of event the tickets are sold for. So my opponent's error led him to conclude that Live Nation collects excessive fees because they use the face value to calculate their commission percentage, which enables them then to inflate the fee. However, according to the information from Fred Rosen, the vendor could be charging a very reasonable fee, since he must cover not only the convenience-type services provided to the fans, like staffing call centers so they don't have to come in and pick up tickets, providing answers to fans' questions, but they also provide services to the vendor like equipment maintenance, scene, inventory control, and administrative functions. My second challenge is that he commits the error of suppression of evidence by ignoring pertinent information related to the breakdown of the fee. This causes ambiguity. My opponent doesn't make it clear that the service figures he gives are a joint figure comprised from the whole of the percentage of the profits due to all the vendors, and this amount is taken from the artist's share of the ticket price. This joint service fee amount, as he indicated, is broken down as 35% for the venue, plus 20% for the outlets, and 45% for Ticketmaster. Note, however, that this total alone equals 100%, so it doesn't allow for the artist's share. This means that the 45% he showed Live Nation getting is not the full $14.25 as he gave in his example. Remember, the ticket price for Tool was $85. 45% of $85 would be $38.25, not $14.25. The correct breakdown based upon the Tool example, therefore, would be $4.98 to the venue at 35%. The outlets would receive $2.85 at 20%, leaving Ticketmaster with $6.41 at 45%. Note, this is a much lower amount than the astronomical fee my opponent purported Ticketmaster was gorging from the concert ticket market. My third challenge is based upon an error of a priori. The advocate's qualifiers and backing support are unsubstantial, indicating that he drew his conclusion before he considered all the evidence. My opponent's first a priori error is that he uses as a qualifier the fact that Ticketmaster uses their commission fees to grant additional monies to promoters in order to ensure their contracts. However, he leaves it at that, and he doesn't consider additional information out there that indicates that the promoter's contracts are negotiated early on in the planning stages of the concert, way before the ticket distributor is involved. This is per Fred Rosen and Claire L. Rothman of the Los Angeles Forum. So if the promoters are expecting and relying on additional monies further down the pipeline in the way of kickbacks, why wouldn't they be the ones pointed at for exploiting the market and participating in inflation of the prices? This behavior certainly doesn't favor the fans, nor does it exemplify going the extra mile, yet their bad behavior is overlooked. Ticketmaster, on the other hand, is working to provide a service that benefits everyone, the fans, the performers, and the venue, making honest use of the fees. Per Charles Bladeau, the fans should realize, at least in this instance, that Ticketmaster and Live Nation are actually looking out for their best interests by ensuring the show will go on and the fans will get what they've paid for. He commits another error in reasoning by disregarding the existence of evidence that supports the indication that ticket charges often attributed to the distributor, such as Ticketmaster, are actually not personally theirs but collected for and on behalf of some other entity. For instance, facility charges. These are fees that are included in the service charges, and they are collected on behalf of the venue but show up as Ticketmaster's fee. Additional, Ticketmaster performs various other functions for the buildings they contract with and for which they assess an honest fee. Examples are the distribution of season ticketing, group ticketing, various accounting functions, parking fees, collection of rent, and providing arenas, venues, and teams with computers. The source of this information was also Fred Rosen and also David Lieberman. The last error in reasoning I'm challenging involves the intentional oversight of sound evidence linking certain other entities to the increase in the concert ticket fees over the past year. My opponent makes no correlation to the fact, for instance, that the artists themselves are too making more money these days from concerts. In fact, they are currently making more in touring profits than they are from CDs. Yet no connection was drawn between this evidence and the recent dramatic increase in ticket prices. My research found this information being reported by several sources, including James D. Hurwitz, a research fellow with the American Antitrust Institute, as well as Live Nation CEO Michael Rapino. Matter of fact, Hurwitz reports that between 1996 and 2003, revenue per show increased by 60%. Yet superstar artists performed 18% fewer shows, while the total number of tickets sold by the industry declined. The increase in revenue per show results from both an increase in the number of tickets sold per show and an increase in ticket price. There is also an additional place to lay blame for the increase in concert ticket pricing. This should be at the feet of the fans and the public. Economist Alan Kruger of Princeton University states that downloading music has put an upward pressure on concert prices. In conclusion, I hope my claims of refutation to my opponent's proposition that Live Nation Entertainment Incorporated would hurt consumers. I hope it has convinced you that this would not be the case. As my challenge is stated, he committed errors of evidence and reasoning, and as a result, the percentages used were inadequate as a source of evidence to prove that Live Nation Entertainment Incorporation inflates their fees. The breakdown of fees presented were ambiguous, and his qualifiers and backing support are weak and unsubstantial to support his conclusion. Thank you.
Very good.